and they will be not only a job seeker. The mindset we produce in the university that you pass the university and go for the job. Why not you can be an entrepreneur? You can be a problem solver. Problem happens in our communities. So community people need to be empowered to understand their problems, solve their problems. We can enable the technology to solve the problem more efficiently, more sustainably, more scalability. Thank you so much, APAN, for inviting me to actually deliver my keynote on AI for development, empowering youth, transforming equity. I think I thought that this could be a very timely thing because our Asian country full of Gen Zs, and they are the driver of our economy. And inequality is something we're facing every day. So how can we actually use artificial intelligence for our development trajectory and transforming the equity? So I think we all know about it that youth is the majority of our nations, and they have a lot of economic pressure. Job is one of the big issue nowadays, digital penetration, and youth are no longer passive. They are active in our trajectory. So in that context, in Bangladesh, 50% of our population is under 30. Again, they are digitally connected. They have a high energy. But the thing is our education institute actually boost their energy because our education institute are mostly traditional yet. So talent need their energy to be actually utilized. So what I'm saying that youth want opportunity and they don't want inequality, okay? So now if I point out some major inequality areas, in education, we have a huge inequality. If you think about the education quality, access to education in urban areas and rural areas is significantly different. And rural areas quality of education really questionable, right? We are not getting good quality teachers and as well as opportunities. When it comes to the health, everything concentrated to the urban areas, rural areas is very difficult. People having a lot of issue for their diseases, their health, their other aspects. So agricultures. So our urban people actually depends on the rural peoples because the agriculture produce and production is happening in the rural areas and urban people are consuming it. But when we listen that farmers are not getting their right return, right? They are producing goods, they are producing all the vegetables, but they are not getting their rights and return of investment. And next, public service. Again, in every developing country, there is a middleman, and public service is really poor. So again, we are living in a climate vulnerability. And especially Bangladesh is a delta country, and our climate vulnerability is more than any country in the world. So these all things actually creating huge inequality. And that's come to the youth lead uprising in 2024. And it started with their right demand of quota Andolan, and then that led to a revolution, right? 2024 revolution. So why I give this context? The context, the demand and supply. Youth is the half of the nation, and it is in Nepal, Sri Lanka, or many countries. On the other hand, the supply of opportunity is really limited. Politicians are failed to understand the demand of the youth. And we are living in era of AI. I call it living in the AI era, embracing the future. So now, what is AI? AI is something that we are now embedded in our life. We use AI every day, from our voice assistant, ChatGPT, even in driverless car, right? So now, can we drive our youth and prepare them for the economy in the era of artificial intelligence? Some of us maybe thinking of AI is something new that came out after ChatGPT came out 2022. And no, AI journey is last more than 75 years. And you can see here, it started 1950 and it started to grow, but AI comes with a solving mathematical problem, developing huge computational oriented mathematical models. And you see in 1970s, it was kind of frozen. And again, scientists are moving around and it grows. And after 90s, it was like shrink. However, after 2000, AI is like non-stoppable. Last 25 years. The guy here who was the pioneer for this AI transformation, Jeffrey Hinton. And I never thought about it, that AI will get a Nobel Prize, and he did it in 2024. And I'm very fortunate, he was my colleague at University of Toronto while I was a scientist at University of Toronto. So AI is hugely driving in our, will drive in our economy, is driving economy of China and the USA and Europe. So we maybe think of that AI is everything, but answer is not. AI is around everything. But there is other things that is in our everyday life, which is called IoT, Internet of Things, blockchain, robotics, 3D printing, augmented reality and virtual reality, genomics, big data, cloud computing, 5G network, renewable energy, and quantum computing. I'm not going in details because I know everyone is from some kind of IT background and I'm not going to in detail. But I'm showing this, all the technology at the heart of all this technology is AI. So I just give you some transformation example that happened last 30 years. You can see here, 30 years ago, we need to go to the bank and give a checkbook, check, and then get the money. It's gonna take 4 hours. I had the experience in Bangladesh 30 years ago, right? And then when ATM machine came, then it happened to 5 minutes, okay, or less. Now we have mobile financial service in Bangladesh is bKash, is less than a 5 second. So this is how technology is transforming. And that time, our youth is not that much. Now youth is huge, right? Now I want to give you another example. Think about it. Here, some of you are graduated from the university 25 years ago. When we actually in the university, we had to go to the library, working hours, 8-9 hours in the whole day, and reading 8-9 books and creating 2 pages of the document, right? That was our everyday life. But think about it, when 20 years ago Google came, that around 10 hours convert to 1 to 2 hours. Now we are living around ChatGPT, right? And which is creating things less than 2 minutes. So this is how technology is transforming. And our youth, our Gen Z is the generation of ChatGPT. Now we can think about their momentum, their speed. Now the question is our education institute, our education system, our faculty in the university ready to empower them? And if we can do that, we can empower them, we can actually reduce the equity. Now I'd like to show you some technology. So this is the driverless car. The example came out from USA and China. Next come to the ChatGPT, like large language transformer model. That is also China and USA, okay? Next come to the agricultural technology. This is also come to from Europe, USA, and China. Why I'm saying that I'm coming to there as well. Education. So, university education, tutoring, we are very traditional. However, Khan Academy in USA, they made Khan Migo, huge large language model tutor that is more than a teacher, right? And then Duolingo for English, and Squirrel in China. And now, healthcare. Google DeepMind project, they're building a huge AI diagnostics for the people in healthcare. And also India, also something, they are ahead. Q.AI is developing how can they use X-ray to diagnose many diseases. And you will be happy to know that in Bangladesh, we build Sushastha.ai is called goodhealth.ai, which is an AI model for preventive primary healthcare risk assessment referral and comprehensive continuity of care ensurement, which is implemented in Bangladesh, I will show you later, and exported to India and Pakistan, and we are discussing to other countries. So now, why I'm saying that? All the advanced AI technology is built in either in USA, Europe or China. Is there anything built in our countries, like in LMIC countries? So that is now, in this conference, we have to question ourselves, how can we leverage AI and empower our youth, reduce the inequality? And AI is the new catalyst for our development. So now, question is, how can we do that? What powers AI? AI powers three things: data, model, and compute. Tushar bhai going to talk about the compute and data. In the developing country like Bangladesh or some other country, we have a huge population and we are generating data in every milliseconds. And you know the Facebook largest user group, second largest user group from Bangladesh. And we making Facebook $1 billion company, but we are not consuming anything. We consuming things, Facebook getting richer. That means we can generate the data. Next, model is readily available. Model need to be improved, right? And that need a computational power. So my question is, do we really need AI? Why we need AI? Then AI solves complex problem faster and smarter. It enhances productivity, efficiency, accuracy, and transparency. Do you think that developing country like Bangladesh, we have all these problems? We need to enhance our productivity, we need to enhance our efficiency, we need to do things better, and corruption is one of the big things in our developing country. That's a transparency. And I would like to share with you, in 2030, AI market will be very big. You can see, imagine number, right? $15 trillion AI market in 2030. It's more than the many countries of GDP and budget, right? So can we take the advantage of it? So the question is, in here, we have talents because our youth have a brain, their neurons are continuously firing, but we need to utilize them. And we have the data. The question is, we don't have the infrastructure to capture the data. And our computational power is one of the challenge. If we not able to solve these challenges, we will go to the digital divide to AI divide in the future. So that's why I actually want to ask everyone that we want to be AI user or AI creator. So be a AI consumer or AI innovators, and be a AI model developer or depends on the foreign models. And also the technology, we should import everything from outside or we build something on our own and export. And context of Bangladesh, what I believe, our biggest export sector is garments, and I believe AI could be the bigger than the garment sector very soon. So if we are not able to solve this puzzle, we will be colonized. We still colonized with the technology from the foreign country, and this colonization will continue, and the distance will be very high because AI is moving so fast. So what is the way out? Way out is three things. The youth should be in the innovation, and youth should be the innovator. And we university should create our youth as an innovator. Through innovation, they can bring the efficiency in the society, and AI will be their enabler. Fourth industrial revolution technology will be their enabler. If we can use AI, we can improve access to education, enhancing learning quality and skill development, which is the missing component of many developing countries, and boosting the creativity. Our youth are creative, we need to boost it to ensure their employability and productivity. And finally, our universities should be knowledge creation center, innovation center. So what I'm trying to say here, the opportunity for empowering our economy, and AI can solve problem of corruptions, inefficiency, good public service delivery, healthcare access, education, agriculture, traffic management, energy management, and so on. What not? And what we need in the Bangladesh or beyond Bangladesh. I'm advocating 3 things for every developing country, and it should happen if possible tomorrow. First is need to create AI policy. And second, AI strategy. Policy doesn't mean anything without the strategy for implementation. And finally, AI regulation. AI is a good side, AI has a bad side. So if we are not regulating AI, AI could be a big disaster in the society. That's why I often call it AI is a healer, AI is a killer. So we have to remember, we need to use AI responsibly. Okay? So here I'm just showing something that if we utilize AI, we can improve our agriculture productivity and ensure food security. We can improve the healthcare and well-being, reduce the burden of healthcare cost, and improve well-being through AI solutions. And education and human resource development. Our education need to be transformed. The education we are having, it is not creating the opportunity to creating productivity, employability, even jobs. Our education system are mostly certificate driven. I'm sorry to repeat this. Education is mostly certificate driven in many countries. And that need to be transformed and creating a skill driven. Because industry is looking for skills, not the certificate, not the CTPS. So we professors need to rethink our education systems. And industry, academia, government need to cohesively work together to transform it. It's not only academia job, and it's a job of holistic industry, academia, and government. And then public service. And we know Estonia, right? Estonia is a small country. There everything is 100% is AI driven and digital enabled, right? Even in many developing countries, even in China, almost everything is like online, digital driven, right? Where we are. But what I could say, our university professors have the responsibility to empower our government, our industry to do the transformation. It is not easy job, but professors need to do the job because professors are enabler for the society. And finally, climate, environment, energy is very important. If I want to run the HPC, high performance computing, I need the energy. Without energy, we cannot do that. And energy need to be from the clean sources as much as possible. Okay? So now, what I'm saying that our learning, solving, and building. So why I'm saying that? So then, our degree factory to innovation engine. Our university should transform a certificate degree factory to innovation engine. And students and teachers as an innovator and knowledge creator in the society. And research try to solve the real problem, not a piece of paper for promotions. I'm really sorry. Our Asian country, developing country, they do research on their promotion. They are like KPI. But research should go for solving problems in the society, in the industry, and creating intellectual wealth for the economy, for the country, for the society. And as I said, industry, academia, collaboration for innovation ecosystem, an idea not in the shelf. Think about it. Every year, every university producing minimum 1,000 theses, right? How many of these theses transform to the solving real problem and going to the industry or in the society? Maybe percentage is less than 1% or 0. So we need to transform it. That's why ideas move to impact, not in the shell. Next is youth should be the change agent. Because if we are not able to transform the life of Gen Zs, Gen Alpha will come and they will do another revolution, not for the government, for the university professors, for us, because we are the light shader of the society. So that's why youth they face problems. We can transform them as a problem solver. And they will be not only a job seeker. The mindset we produce in the university, that you pass the university and go for the job. Why not you can be an entrepreneur? You can be a problem solver. And they can be a local change maker, local problem solver, right? And AI and digital tool multiply their all the capability and capacity. And there should be a create leadership in problem solving, not a positions. That's why I made a concept called innovation transform union to capital. Previously the model was capital to union. Union means community and the rural areas, right? So previously all the development process was in the capital. Everything planned in the capital and top-down approach. And we failed to do the success. And now we need to reverse it. That problem happens in our communities. So community people need to be empowered to understand their problems, solve their problems. We can enable the technology to solve the problem more efficiently, more sustainably, more scalability. So that's why I'm showing that from community to district to the division to the capital, so that we can actually create a sustainable solutions. So what I'm saying that equity is built by the distributing the capability and the capacity, not charity. So therefore, we need to power our youth through institutional approach. That's why I call it that every community, every union, every ward have a youth-led problem-solving center, youth-led innovation center. And AI should be the catalyst to solve that. And the local youth, they know their problem better. And if we can empower them, they can solve it. So I already talked about there's a time limitation, I'm not going in detail. AI for education, health, agriculture, and environment, as well as government service. I would like to say a few things on the government service. Every government and private offices in developing country should have an innovation culture, an innovation center. And where their own people, with the support from the universities, they can identify their problems, they can develop solutions, they can implement, they can scale it, and they can also able to export it. So now one thing is we see very clearly in every government office. When a government big official, he transferred or he get retired, all the knowledge actually go with him. That is called institutional memory. That institutional memory is very important for the organizations. If you know that in Bangladesh, if you go to the court, you have a 30 years old case filed. It's not resolved yet. And now the high performance computing and large language model, we can create institutional memory GPT to actually address these problems. Because all the memory is living with the officers or judges, it will stay with the institute. So finally, I would like to say that all of this possible in this developing country through collaboration between industry, academia, and government. So in the LMIC country, our industry, academia is broken. They are not cohesively connected. They have to be cohesively connected. That's why if we want to empower these developing country people, this cohesion activity is needed. That's why I'm saying that maybe few people think that, and I often see our big senior leaders saying that education budget is very limited, very small amount. I don't agree with them. The money is already allocated. Are we effectively utilized it? Answer is no. If you give more money, you will do more wastage. So we have to think how we can utilize small money and use our own creativity. Because we university teachers, professors are blessed by the God with very smart neurons. We can multiply the creativity, we can do the innovation and amplify the money. So America not happened today, America as normal. They actually multiplied the creativity. And that's why they are like that. So I actually not, when I'm talking that, you may feel that I'm talking. No, 11 years ago, I started this model that I actually believe in and I want to do that. And I started 10 years ago in Bangladesh with that concept of university should be an innovation center and producing a skilled graduate from the industry, society, and the government. So I started 2015 this model with the 3 volunteer students. And you can see here 10 years later, I have a 40 plus AI engineers and other professionals working with us and generated $3 million plus grants, 30 plus projects, trained 200 plus highly talented youth who are actually now university teacher or doing PhD in USA or many other countries, and impacted 4 million people. And also established Bangladesh first brain computer interface lab. If you don't know about the brain computer interface lab, you know the Elon Musk, he building a company called Neuralink. And this is the Neuralink of Bangladesh. And we also created Bangladesh first university innovation hub. As I said, that university should be an innovation center, not a certificate production center. And this is the University Innovation Hub funded by the World Bank and the government of Bangladesh, and it's a model, and now this model is scaling to many other universities. And finally, in the university, you should come up with your idea from any corner of the country, and university help you to do the research, to innovate, supporting patent, and your entrepreneurship journey to be a startup and to be a big impactor in the future. And we created it, we named it Launchpad. And finally, all of this together, what I'm promoting, that every university should have this center. It's called Institute of Research, Innovation, Incubation, and Commercializations. That means you facing a problem in the society, you go to that center and you do research, solve the problem, generate intellectual property, and incubate and take it to the practice through commercializations. And this is, I call it that a journey from idea to commercialization. And this is could be the synonym of a library. Because every university, we have a very embedded, rooted things. Library should be a big part of the university, right? Library is a place to gain the knowledge. Library is not the place to create the knowledge. If you want to create the knowledge, you should have an IRIC in every university. So I request everyone think in that way. Maybe we can actually able to work together to transform this developing world to a developed world very faster and soon. So now I would like to share with you that what we do. We work on the technology on AI and data science, brain-computer interface, robotics and automation, augmented reality and virtual reality, and we solving problems and developing applications from health and well-being. I will share you some of the projects. And education and skill development, energy, industry and business, agriculture and climate. So one of our projects on health, I told you, is called Surastra AI. It's called IGP, Intelligent General Practitioner Model, an AI-powered, health worker-driven, patient-centered model to revolutionize healthcare in many LMIC countries and Bangladesh. Let me show you the video, how it works. This model is, we hope that will be a new game changer for creating access to affordable quality healthcare at the doorsteps. Sound? Need to give the sound?
Stop at health expenses.
Sound?
Okay.
Into poverty. While community health workers in many LMICs have achieved notable success, they often provide services like family planning or vaccinations only. Total healthcare needs of a family with infants, adolescents, adults, pregnant women, and elderly remains unmet. Community health workers lack innovation and support to provide comprehensive healthcare services to address the holistic family healthcare needs. What if healthcare wasn't just reactive, but proactive? The answer? Intelligent General Practitioner Model, IGP, an AI-powered community health workers-driven, patient-centered model to revolutionize primary healthcare delivery in LMICs for UHC. IGP equips community health workers with an AI co-pilot and point-of-care diagnostics, enabling personalized, comprehensive care at doorsteps. From health education and early screenings to triage, referrals, and follow-ups, IGP integrates comprehensive preventative and primary healthcare services with online and offline GP clinics, ensures doctor consultations and referrals to higher level care as needed to enable equitable healthcare for all. For $1 per individual per month, IGP ensures affordable, accessible, and quality care. Doorstep services and IGP clinics can manage up to 90% of community health issues, reduce the patient load in hospitals, the burden of NCDs, along with maternal and child mortality. During 8 years of conceptualization and implementation, IGP model has impacted over 3 million lives with a 99.5% satisfaction rate. IGP aims to develop medical GPT, an AI assistant for risk assessment and triage, clinical notes summarization, and second opinion systems with a resilient, data-driven healthcare ecosystem with financial protection. Be a part of our mission to create a world where everyone has access to affordable, timely, and quality healthcare towards universal health coverage, or UHC.
So you will be happy to know that we already start to build our medical GPT. It is now phase 2 clinical trial with the funding from the Gates Foundation and IDRC Canada. So we now building a receptionist, is called AI receptionist. It uses face recognition, speaker recognition, speech to text, text to speech, and knowledge engine using LLM. It can be fitted into any offices with their knowledge engine, and it can be in your mobile phone as a receptionist for the government offices, public services, so on. And we are also working on building a Islamic GPT with one of the biggest Islamic organization called As-Sunnah Foundation. And we just completed our first version and to get authentic Islamic question answers from there. And we are now trying to work with the government, so how to help them to transforming their government service through GPT models. And similarly with Bangladesh police, because we know nobody wants to go to the police station, right? Because of corruptions, right? We want to create the police on your fingertip. So we are building a police GPT. And we are also build a 2 brain common interface solution, one for the marketing that going to be commercialized this year. Another is education, that how can we improve your concentration on the educations. And we also working on a big project, and maybe you guys can also collaborate, that how can we understand the potential of every individual, and so that we can drive them with their own alignment and the passion for their education and career. We are building on that. We are running a very good AI hackathon with Harvard University every year, that health system innovation hackathon using artificial intelligence. We actually running an AI forum Bangladesh to promote responsible AI for all in Bangladesh, for the professional, for the youth, for the students, and so on. So our goal is to create impact, and AI should be their integral part of it, where we actually promoting building innovation ecosystem for every institute, government, private, or local union offices. And how can we train AI ready, AI native human resources? And finally, how your career should be boosted for AI. Because if you don't know AI, maybe your career will be very challenging in the future. So we are trying to promote that. So what I believe, that Bangladesh or many countries, you can just do the simple math. Bangladesh have 150 universities. We need every university, one innovation center that we actually build. And we need 150 leaders, one leader in every university. Think about it. One innovation center can try to solve 10 problems. Think about it. How many problems you can solve? 1,500, right? And it would not think that everything will be successful. Think about it, 90% will fail. If you succeed in 10%, that will be 150 problem you solved, and each of them will be $1 billion company. And in that case, you boosting your economy and your country $150 billion. And this is something knocking our door. This is our call. Should we make it happen or just listening and forgetting? Now the call for action is collaborate locally, countrywide, and regionally, and globally. And do the partnership support and strategic action for co-creation and scale up. And thank you so much for listening. And I would love to hear if you have any questions. Thank you so much.